that you don't walk with your enemies just because they come to you with a handshake and a smile. You understand? If Father is not holding hands with Satan, you don't need to be holding hands with your enemies and people that straddle the fence between you and your enemies. Is that making sense? Because Father would never hold hands with something as filthy as Satan. Lucifer blew his chance. You understand? So we must follow in Father's footsteps. You understand? We learn by example. If Father is not holding hands with his enemies, why should you hold hands with yours? Why should I hold hands with mine? I don't play those types of games. And then another thing, Father will rescue you from you ladies and you gents out there. If you are acquainted with somebody, and it could be somebody either you're dating or romantically involved with or even married to. Let me tell you something. If or well, I'm not gonna say married to yet. I'll put it this way: it might be somebody you're thinking about dating. If that person can be so easily swayed against you by other people, evidently there's something in that person that was against you initially. Anyway, you understand? Because me personally, nobody can turn me against anybody, but not everybody is like me. I don't expect everybody to have my substance, my character. I make my own decisions. I'm a grown woman. So nobody can come to me and trash talk somebody else and make me not like them. No, because I'm not weak at all. Don't know if somebody did try to do that to me, I actually would look at the person that's doing it as if to say, this person's trying to manipulate me. I might not tell them, but it would be like a red flag or something like, why are you trying to speak against that person to me? See, I'm always examining things, you guys. I don't ever look at things at face value. I'm like, there's a purpose and an intent behind everything people do, whether good or bad. And one thing I think that people know about me automatically is that I make my own decisions and according to the will of Father. And also, I really can't be persuaded nor influenced like that. I mean, I've been around a lot of people that can be, but I can't be bought, I can't be sold. I'm not for sale. So nobody, like I said, nobody can dangle anything. I think I've said, if I didn't, I'm saying it now. Dangle anything in front of my face and make me do anything or persuade. You can't persuade a person like me because I make my own decisions. As long as it's okay with Father. And with these bloodline people, um, sick. The only thing I can say is sick. And the thing about it is, what a lot of them fail to realize is they give off the energy of resentment. So it's not like, oh, but just because they're grinning in your face, you don't know who they are. Me personally, I'm so sensitive now to spirits. It's not that I didn't know stuff back in the day, but now you can feel it off of them. It's something about different. I guess it's different levels to being an empath. You can feel the resentment coming off of people. Like, oh, I just hate that it's you and it's about you and people can't hide it. People are actually at the point. They're already at the breaking point to where they can't hide it. Energy that never lies. But I can honestly say you can see it in their faces now. Just that resentment. And not only them, but their friends, because I've got bloodline enemies, and I know their friends don't like me either, and I don't care because I don't like their friends either. And what their friends fail to realize is that I can read their energy. I can read that they don't like me because the person that's in the bloodline has been trash talking me to them. I could care less. They all know what they can kiss, as far as I'm concerned. Them and their friends. I could care less. I'm just that type of chick. I'm just that type of chick. And they ain't doing nothing for me. You know what I'm saying? So what do I care? You know. And then just what do I care? Anything good that happens to me in my life, that's Father's hand. That's Father's hand. To God be the glory. And you all have to just be mindful of just people. Be mindful of the people you bring around your children too, because a lot of times people, for those of you out there that have children, they'll try to come at you through your children if you have any, and some people are dirty enough to even try to turn your own children against you. And I'm sure, many of you out there have probably experienced that. Like I said, I can't be bought, I can't be sold, but that doesn't mean other people cannot be. And one of the worst things, let's just say if I had like 2 or 3 sons or something like that, one of the worst things somebody could try to do is try to turn my 2 or 3 sons against me, because a person like that, oh, I'm coming for you. And a lot of times, my word to somebody that like that would be, I may not be in a position right now to come for you, but when Father places my foot on solid ground, I'm coming for you. You know what I'm saying? Because one thing you don't do is mess with somebody's children or somebody's child. You know, my thing is, if you didn't carry it, if you didn't bear it, if you didn't go through labor and delivery, you need to go sit down, shut up, and mind your own business. Now, that's how I feel about it. You know, as long as that parent is not mistreating that child, you know, these outsiders need to go somewhere and sit down. You know what I'm saying? Because if they were qualified to put their mouth in the business of the parent with the child, they would have been the ones carrying the child. Now that's the way I look at it. I don't know about you guys, but like I said, if I had 3 sons, 3 daughters, 3 whatever, I do not play as it pertains to if I had a child or if I had a son or a daughter, whatever. Yeah, I'm just putting that out there, you guys. I just don't play as it pertains to something like that. Now I know there are many of you out there. You're probably like, well, you know, there have been people in your bloodline that turn to children against you and this and that and the third. But you know, let me share something with you guys. If somebody can turn somebody against you, that seed was already in that person in the first place. That may be a hard pill for a lot of you to swallow, but that person already had the natural tendencies to be a Judas. And all it took was a little nudge from another two-faced Judas. And now you've got a double-headed snake. So I don't know who that's for out there. But, you know, like me personally, nobody can turn me against anybody. And like I said, I don't expect everybody to be like me. But nobody can turn me against anybody. And, you know, in the town that I came up in, you know, there were a lot of those bums in that town that didn't like my mother. And my mother, she looked better than those women in that town. And that's why one reason why they didn't like her, and they probably liked my dad too, because you know he was like the type of dude, you know, he wore like, I don't know, black leather jackets and all that. Now, you know, I don't know. And he, you know, I guess a lot of ladies like them, or women, or whatever. I ain't gonna call them ladies, but whatever, club hoppers, whatever, whatever they were. I guess, you know, I don't know, you know, my parents, you know, they didn't discuss their business with me or anything, because you know it was none of my business. So you know, I mean, the way I was brought up is old school. A child stays in a child's place. I know nowadays children get all in the parents' business and stuff, but the way I was reared, children stayed in their place. You know, you didn't get in adult matters. But I will just say this, you know, I know there were, in the town that I came up in, the women have always liked to pick at people. And the thing about it is, they didn't look like nothing, but they liked to pick at people. And I know my mother, she had enemies in that town too. And you know, I'm not gonna give too much away, but I will just say this: um, some of the dirty wretches that came up against me, they were enemies of my mother's. And I did a conference before about, you know, people who hating on your mothers, and so what will make you think that they gonna like you, and this and that and the third. And it's some of the same wretches that didn't like my mother. But you know what? As far as you know what, I'm about to say something. I was about to say, as far as I'm concerned, they can kiss mine and my mother's behind. That's the way I look at it. You know what I'm saying? Because, you know, I'm not saying that everybody had a perfect relationship with their parent, but I know one thing: there's not a wretch out there that I'm going to side with over my mother. I know that much. I know that much. Because regardless, let me tell you, ladies and gents, something out there. Regardless of what type of relationships you have with your mothers, you know, whether, you know, nobody's perfect. But let me tell you something. A lot of times people will bait you. You know what I'm trying to say? So meaning, especially when you're real young, they'll try to do things for you or whatever, and you will equate it to love or care. But really, what it is, they're trying to outshine your mothers and your fathers out there. You understand what I'm saying? I did a conference on that too, I think a while back, like over a year ago. You know, everything is not about you. Some things are about people trying to get back at your parents. And for somebody that has a very intelligent mind, they'll peep that. Once it's been brought to their attention, they will peep that and accept that. But for somebody who wants to play the fool and actually think that they mean something to people that they don't mean nothing to, and don't realize that people are just buttering you up because they hate your mother and your father, you know, somebody like that, just let them go and keep walking into a brick wall. I wouldn't even waste my time, if whoever you are out there, I wouldn't even waste my time trying to explain something to a mind